Have you ever looked at your medical bills and thought, how the heck did it get this bad? Because you're not alone. Diabetes isn't just a disease, it's a financial nightmare. In the United States, the average cost of managing diabetes is over $16,750 per year per person. That's nearly $1,400 every single month just to survive with this disease. Medications, glucose meters, test strips, insulin, doctor's visits, hospital stays, it adds up fast. Now, here's the kicker. A huge chunk of that cost comes from complications that could have been avoided. We're talking about eye surgeries from diabetic retinopathy, kidney dialysis, foot amputations. Do you know how much a single dialysis session costs? Around $500 per visit. That's $3,000 or more a week if you go 3 times. It breaks my heart when I see folks in their 50s, 60s, and 70s forced to choose between buying groceries or paying for insulin. It's not fair, and it's not your fault. You weren't given the right tools. You weren't warned early enough. But guess what? It's never too late to start making informed choices. Some vegetables, while nutritious, may affect your blood sugar more than expected. We're going to explore them and find simple swaps to support your health. That's why today, I'm going to show you 7 common vegetables you must avoid if you're serious about cutting your costs, staying out of the ER, and actually taking back control of your diabetes naturally. 1. Potatoes. Potatoes might feel like comfort food, but for people over 50 with diabetes, they can quietly drive your blood sugar and your health costs through the roof. Let's not sugarcoat it. Potatoes are one of the worst, healthy foods for people trying to manage diabetes naturally over 50. They may look innocent, even wholesome, sitting there next to your baked chicken, but inside, they're loaded with fast-burning starch. One medium-sized baked potato has about 37 grams of carbohydrates. And not the slow, friendly kind. These are high glycemic carbs that turn into sugar in your body almost as fast as a spoonful of pure glucose. In fact, the glycemic index, GI, of a regular baked potato is around 85. That's higher than table sugar, which means your blood sugar can spike just minutes after you eat it. These sugar surges are exhausting for your pancreas, and over time, they wear down your ability to process insulin properly. That's when complications start creeping in: fatigue, nerve pain, blurry vision, and worse. And every new issue means more prescriptions, more tests, and more money out of your pocket. You don't have to give up comfort food, you just have to swap it smartly. Mashed cauliflower. 1 cup of cooked cauliflower has only 5 grams of carbs, yes, just 5, and a GI of 15. That's a huge difference. It won't spike your sugar, and it's packed with fiber to help slow digestion and keep your energy steady. Plus, it's cheap, it freezes well, and it's easy to make. Just steam fresh cauliflower until tender, then mash it with a little olive oil, garlic, and sea salt. Some folks like to add a spoonful of Greek yogurt for creaminess. It's rich, satisfying, and shockingly similar to mashed potatoes, but without the damage. This small change can help you manage diabetes naturally over 50, protect your insulin levels, and cut down on long-term medical costs. 2. Beetroot. Beetroot sounds healthy, right? It's bright, earthy, and shows up in all those superfood salads. But if you're trying to manage diabetes naturally over 50, beetroot might not be as safe as it looks. In a 2024 study published in the Journal of Nutrition, researchers observed how beetroot juice affected blood glucose levels in adults. The participants were given 225 milliliters of beetroot juice, that's less than a cup. Within just 60 minutes, their blood glucose rose significantly. Why? Because beetroot is high in natural sugar, about 9 grams of sugar per cup, even when boiled. For people over 50 with a slower metabolism and insulin resistance, that's risky. Your blood sugar may not spike immediately like it does with candy, but beetroot can cause delayed spikes, what I call a second-phase glucose rise. These are dangerous because they're harder to track, and they keep your blood sugar elevated longer without you noticing. That slow, hidden rise leads to fatigue, weight gain, and higher A1C over time, which, you guessed it, means more meds and higher health bills. You don't have to give up beetroot, you just have to eat it the smart way. The key is pairing it with foods that slow down how fast the natural sugar hits your bloodstream. Roast half a cup of fresh beet chunks, just peel, cut, and toss them in a little olive oil. Bake at 375 degrees for 25 minutes until they're tender but not mushy. Roasting brings out their sweetness without adding sugar, and it helps preserve the fiber that slows digestion. Don't eat beetroot by itself. Instead, combine it with protein and fiber to create a blood sugar-friendly plate. Try this combo: half a boiled egg or a few slices of grilled tofu, a handful of baby spinach or kale, and your roasted beets. Add a splash of lemon juice and olive oil for flavor and balance. The protein and fat from the egg or tofu helps slow the sugar release, and fiber from the greens helps stabilize digestion. Olive oil adds satiety and supports nutrient absorption, while lemon gives flavor and helps regulate glucose. Avoid beet juice. That's concentrated sugar without the fiber, and it hits your bloodstream fast. But roasted and balanced like this, you get the flavor, the antioxidants, and the color without the sugar spike. This one tip alone can help you manage diabetes naturally over 50 while still enjoying your food. Try it tonight and feel the difference. 3. Sweet corn. Sweet corn looks like a healthy food, but for people over 50 with diabetes, it can quietly push blood sugar way too high. Let's get to the point. 1 cup of cooked sweet corn has about 27 grams of carbohydrates. That's almost the same as a slice of plain cake. It also has a glycemic index between 60 and 70, which means it raises blood sugar faster than most vegetables. Your body turns it into sugar quickly, and that causes your blood sugar to spike. Now, compare that to green beans. 1 cup of green beans has only 7 grams of carbs and a much lower glycemic index. Green beans are gentle on your blood sugar. Sweet corn is not. If you're trying to manage diabetes naturally over 50, this matters, especially if you eat sweet corn along with rice, bread, or pasta. That much starch in one meal sends your sugar up fast and keeps it there. Over time, that means more medication, more fatigue, and higher A1C levels. But here's the good news. You don't have to give up the taste or the crunch. Just swap sweet corn with baby corn. Baby corn is picked early before the natural sugars fully develop. That means it has fewer carbs and much more fiber, the kind that helps slow down digestion and keeps your blood sugar steady. 1 cup of baby corn has only 6 grams of carbs compared to 27 grams in sweet corn. And it's easy to make. Start by steaming baby corn for about 5 minutes, just enough to soften it without losing the crunch. Then, toss it in a pan with a little olive oil and minced garlic. Let it sizzle for 2 minutes. Finally, add a dash of low-sodium soy sauce or a squeeze of lemon juice for flavor. That's it. You can mix it with grilled chicken or tofu or throw it into a quick veggie stir-fry with leafy greens like spinach or kale. It's fast, delicious, and so much better for your blood sugar. This small change can help you manage diabetes naturally over 50, one simple plate at a time. 4. Green peas. Green peas seem healthy. They're green, they're soft, and they've been on dinner plates for decades. But if you're trying to manage diabetes naturally over 50, peas are one of those foods you really need to watch. Here's what the numbers say. According to the USDA, 100 grams of cooked green peas have about 14.5 grams of total carbohydrates. That includes 5.1 grams of fiber and about 5.4 grams of protein. In simple terms, peas give you a sugar hit and a small dose of protein all in a little package. Now, that doesn't make them bad, but they're not as light as you might think. Half a cup of peas, a pretty common serving, delivers about 11 to 12 grams of carbs. If you eat that next to mashed potatoes or white rice, the sugar load adds up fast. And for people over 50, your body processes that sugar slower, and it hangs around in your blood longer. So how do we fix that? Here's a better way to enjoy peas. Cut your portion to 1/4 to 1/2 cup and mix them with high-fiber leafy greens like kale or spinach. Then, add a small amount of olive oil and a lean protein like grilled chicken or tofu. This combo works wonders. The fiber from the greens slows sugar absorption. The healthy fat in olive oil helps you stay full longer, and limiting the peas means you still get the taste but without the sugar spike. Here's a quick recipe. Steam the peas until soft, sauté some spinach in olive oil and garlic, then toss everything together with a pinch of sea salt. Add protein if you want a full meal. This simple trick helps you manage diabetes naturally over 50 by keeping your meals balanced, tasty, and easy to control. 5. Turnips. Turnips often get ignored on the plate. They look mild, they're white, and they don't taste too sweet. But when you're trying to manage diabetes naturally over 50, you need to look deeper than just taste. These routes can be tricky. 100 grams of boiled turnips contain about 6 grams of carbohydrates, which seems okay at first. But here's the catch. They're also naturally high in sodium, with about 17 milligrams per 100 grams. That might not sound like a lot, but the real problem comes when people eat pickled turnips or canned versions, which can jump to over 300 to 600 milligrams of sodium per serving. For someone with diabetes who's already at risk for high blood pressure and kidney stress, this extra sodium can push you into dangerous territory. And yes, sodium affects more than just blood pressure. It holds on to water in your body, making you feel bloated, tired, and in the long run, it stresses your kidneys, especially if you're trying to manage diabetes naturally over 50. So here's the fix, and it's a simple one you can do today. Always choose fresh turnips and don't eat them raw or pickled. Instead, roast them, slice them thin, toss them in a small spoon of olive oil, add a pinch of rosemary or thyme, and bake at 375 degrees, 190 degrees Celsius, for 25 minutes. The roasting brings out their natural sweetness without needing salt. Plus, the olive oil helps reduce the insulin spike, and the herbs add flavor without adding sodium. Even better, pair roasted turnips with leafy greens or a lean protein to build a full, balanced plate. This combo will help you feel full, avoid sodium overload, and keep your blood sugar stable, all while supporting your goal to manage diabetes naturally over 50. 6. Squash. Squash looks innocent, even healthy. It's soft, colorful, and often shows up on the table with a little butter or brown sugar, especially during fall. But if you're trying to manage diabetes naturally over 50, you've got to watch how this healthy veggie behaves inside your body. 1 cup of cooked butternut squash has around 22 grams of carbohydrates. And while it does offer 3 grams of fiber, that still leaves you with nearly 19 grams of net carbs. That's more than some slices of whole wheat bread. The sugar content is about 4 grams per cup, which is naturally occurring, but still, it impacts your blood glucose. Dr. Sarah Hallberg, a leading name in diabetes care and low-carb nutrition, often warned about sugar in disguise. She pointed out that many starchy vegetables like butternut or acorn squash can spike blood sugar the same way processed carbs do, especially in older adults whose insulin response is slower. So what can you do? Here's a tip that can make a huge difference. Swap high-carb squash for zucchini, also known as summer squash. It has only 4 grams of carbs per cup, almost no sugar, and it's packed with water and fiber. Even better, it's super versatile. You can grill it, roast it, or even spiralize it into zoodles. Slice zucchini into rounds, drizzle with a teaspoon of olive oil, sprinkle some garlic powder and black pepper, and roast it at 400 degrees, 205 degrees Celsius, for 15 to 20 minutes. You get that satisfying roasted texture without the sugar load. It tastes amazing with lean grilled meat or tossed into a salad. This easy swap helps you manage diabetes naturally over 50 and keeps your meals both safe and satisfying. This one little change can help you manage diabetes naturally over 50 without giving up flavor and without spiking your sugar like traditional squash dishes. 7. Canned vegetables. As someone who spent years studying how small food choices impact older adults with diabetes, I can tell you with full confidence, canned vegetables can quietly ruin your best efforts to manage diabetes naturally over 50. They seem harmless, even helpful, but just half a cup of canned green beans, carrots, or peas can contain between 300 to 480 milligrams of sodium. And it adds up fast, especially when you eat more than one type in a meal or don't rinse the liquid. Some canned vegetables also sneak in 3 to 5 grams of added sugar per serving, particularly sweet corn and peas. That combo of hidden salt and sugar can lead to higher blood pressure, water retention, kidney strain, and, of course, blood sugar spikes. These side effects make it harder to manage diabetes naturally over 50. You can fix this with one easy swap and still enjoy vegetables every day. My best advice is to switch to plain frozen vegetables with no added sauces or seasoning. These are picked fresh, flash frozen, and contain 0 added salt or sugar. They're just vegetables, the way they should be. Here's a method I use all the time. Take 1 to 2 cups of frozen veggies like green beans, broccoli, or spinach. Steam them in the microwave or on the stove for 4 to 5 minutes until soft. Then, add 1 teaspoon of olive oil, a pinch of garlic powder, and fresh herbs like dill or parsley. That's it. No sodium spike, no blood sugar hit, just clean, nourishing food. You can even stir-fry them with tofu or grilled chicken for a complete, balanced meal. This simple change helps you manage diabetes naturally over 50, saves money, and protects your heart and kidneys without sacrificing flavor. You've just learned the truth about 7 common vegetables that seem harmless but may impact your blood sugar and health goals more than you think. But with a few simple swaps, you can better support your well-being. The best part? Every one of them has a simple, realistic solution. You don't need to give up on food, flavor, or joy. You just need a little guidance, and that's exactly why we're here. Remember, small changes, like choosing frozen veggies over canned, switching squash for zucchini, or pairing peas with greens, can make a huge difference. These are the same strategies I've shared with countless people over 50 who wanted to manage diabetes naturally without confusion or fear, and they work. This isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Each small change you make can contribute to more stable energy and a healthier lifestyle alongside your treatment plan. And you're not alone in this. We're walking this path together, one meal at a time.